Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This one's from user Endless Pastability. I asked my boyfriend for alone time, and he told me to pack my stuff and leave for good. Okay, the title does seem a little one-sided. Context. My boyfriend, 29 male, and I, 30 female, have been dating since last summer. I live alone in an apartment in downtown DC, and he lives alone in a house in Annapolis, about 40 minutes away. Pre-lockdown, we did well splitting weekends between the two places. Once states closed for the health crisis, we decided it made most sense for me to temporarily move in, stay with him in the bigger space with a yard for the dogs. As you might imagine, it's had its ups and downs. We were getting a crash course in living together in a space that wasn't really mine at all, having lots of important conversations, enjoying evenings cooking together, and having wine while watching shows together. We've also been irritable due to drastic changes in our daily routines. I have continued to work full-time from home, plus overtime due to an even busier schedule, while he is only working a half day once a week. He is bored. I am stressed with work and finding it difficult to decompress. I am used to and need quiet time to myself to recharge, and he likes a noisy household. TV's always on, music on top of that, chattering constantly about sports or draft statistics or things only of interest to him. I've tried saying I'm going upstairs to read or I'd just like some quiet time to myself, and it bugs him that I don't want to do things that he wants. I find myself becoming more snappy and short-tempered from feeling constantly drained, which isn't fair to him. Last night, he wanted to watch the NFL draft, so I made plans to FaceTime my girlfriends upstairs while he did that. I am used to weekly girls' nights and miss them as they're also my primary support network. I heard him downstairs complaining to his dog that I never want to hang out with him. After FaceTiming, I went down and sat on the sofa with him and said, "Hey, I heard you talking to the dog. I came to hang out. How are your team's picks doing?" He was irritable and replied, "Ugh, it was quiet until you came down." I'm feeling like I can't win. Alright, getting to the point. I hadn't been in my apartment in over 3 weeks and needed to go check on it. It's not in a building, it's in a row house. And pick up prescriptions I couldn't have transferred. We were originally going to go together, but seeing this irritation with each other, I suggested I'd just go alone and take a night or so to myself to recharge and come back. Note: I do not have to interact with anyone to access my apartment. My car already has ample gas. I literally drive from his house to my street. I'm alone in my apartment. Any exposure to no contact takeout I would have gotten is the same as if I were there with him. This morning, when I grabbed some necessities for a night to myself, my laptop because I have to work over the weekend, some underwear and face moisturizer, he got upset and said I might as well take all my stuff and not bother coming back. I tried to talk through why it was so all or nothing for him. He said I clearly didn't want to spend time with him or be around him, so I can just go home for good and we can resume dating when the states opened back up. He actually bagged up the remainder of my stuff and took it out to my car for me. Reddit: I just wanted to read in silence, get my medications, anxiety pills, water my plants, sleep in my own bed alone for a night, watch my own trashy TV shows without interruption, and now I think my relationship is over? I'm feeling frustrated that I attempted to handle this in a productive and proactive way and somehow screwed up. Well, OP, from the sounds of it, it's like the lockdown really got to the both of you at the same time. And also, you are really very different. Let's put a pin on the stress of being in lockdown with the health crisis for a second. The fact that he likes a noisy house with so many TVs on and radios and all that kind of stuff on, and you like a quiet place, that is a very big difference. Also, it sounds like you are way more independent than him. I mean, if you're not interested in football, why would he be upset if you don't want to watch the NFL draft? If he's enjoying it, then let him enjoy it by himself. He doesn't need you next to him holding his hand for the thing to be fun. Now, the only question I would have is, do you show him an interest in the things that he likes apart from this football thing? Like, do you guys talk about his hobbies? Do you talk about your hobbies? What kind of experiences do you guys have together that you both enjoy together, apart from cooking together and drinking wine while watching TV? That's like the main question I would ask. What about you guys? What do you think about this whole situation so far? Well, while you think about that, let's continue with the community comments to see what they had to say, and then we can move on with the update. Not Sophia says, sounds like spending time apart is not the worst idea. Go home and decompress and let him reach out. OP responds, exactly my plan. Currently having a glass of wine and cooking some gumbo in my sweats, playing my favorite music softly. Woodor Ute says, whew, bullet dodged. It could have taken years for you to figure out you hated living with each other. Nice. OP responds, fair. I feel like in a non-lockdown world, we wouldn't constantly only have one another for entertainment though. So it wouldn't be as extreme and we'd have those opportunities to have our own lives and time. It's a weird time. Lady Mystery says, you go home, work from home, and in a day or so contact him and have a calm conversation. You figure out if you guys can work it out or not. You've also discovered that living together, at least for the foreseeable future, is not going to be conducive to your relationship. He seems clingy, to be honest. I couldn't live with someone like that, where you can't even have an hour to yourself without them demanding your attention. OP's edit. Wow, this post blew up. Thank you for such thoughtful and thought-provoking commentary. I've felt really supported and seen by a lot of these replies. I'm still reading through and responding to comments, but wanted to provide a quick update response, some things I keep seeing pop up. I am home in my own apartment alone. He has not contacted me. I spent yesterday drinking wine, cooking, listening to music softly, FaceTiming girlfriends, caring for my plants, and reading a good book. And checking Reddit, of course. I am not crying or sad. I feel comfortable and at ease in my space again. While boyfriend is not working, he is still being paid his full salary. While I am currently working a lot, I normally have a much healthier work-life balance. Some big deadlines happened to coincide with and be exacerbated by the health crisis. It's only temporary, a few weeks of hellish hustle. I was very clear with my boyfriend before this upswing started and let him know I was going to be a lot busier and would appreciate his extra support for a couple of weeks until things settled down again. Many of you have brought up quality time. I have attempted to express my desire for quality time to him. Things as blunt as, let's hang out together tonight, what should we do? Or, we've been sort of coexisting, let's plan to do something together, more like quality time. Perhaps I wasn't resonating with his communication style. Sometimes it would work and we'd have a nice dinner and watch a show together, etc. And other times it would end in frustration and not go anywhere. In regards to the mattress thing, I am hearing all your replies about how it just wasn't important to him, so he didn't want to compromise. It took my having a very dramatic, hysterical, emotional breakdown after nights of no sleep for him to realize how important it was we find a solution. That breakdown was loud and ugly on my part, and not a moment I am proud of. It came after numerous, I'm really not sleeping well, I need more sleep than you do. Can we work something out so I'm more comfortable? Conversations. I am in therapy and understand I am a highly flawed human with dramatic emotional tendencies as well. I do not always communicate well. I consider myself very self-aware and make concerted efforts to require my default actions to create a better life for myself and my loved ones. And finally, you are all not wrong that I have a low bar for thoughtfulness. It's not really something I've ever experienced in a relationship. So now my guess is that you guys have a very big question in your minds right now. What is this mattress thing about? Well, in one of OP's responses, she says that he has an extra firm mattress on his bed that she hates and that he doesn't love. She says she couldn't sleep for weeks and ended up sleeping in a guest room, which of course upset him. So after her emotional hysterical meltdown or breakdown or however she put it, they both agreed to split the costs on a topper. That was it. So if you're wondering how big of an impact this mattress thing had in the whole story, I guess it's just one of the things they argued about big time. To be honest, at this point in the story, I believe these two are just incompatible, and having moved in together just helped them realize that before they would make any big compromises, like that second commenter said. So, do you guys think they work through this and, remain and even get stronger as a couple? Or do they go their separate ways? Which, by the way, is the title of an awesome Journey song in case you want to check it out. Anyways, let's continue with the update to see what actually happened. Well, as a likely shock to no one, we, me, 30 female, and him, 29 male, broke up. It wasn't as swift as some comments encouraged. We reconciled after he insisted he hadn't meant to end things and had overreacted out of emotion. We gave it another shot, living in our own places again for a few weeks. Things went well enough, but unresolved trust issues became exacerbated as I was not in his physical proximity as often and he felt insecure about the distance between us. Ultimately, a few weeks after reconciling, we ended up in another argument after dinner one night. There was once again a very disproportionate reaction to a situation that should have been more calmly communicated about. And I realized if we reconciled again, I'd be in the same position a few weeks later. It had become an exhausting cycle. We aren't in contact this time. He found the original thread I posted and was, understandably, hurt by what I wrote and for not sticking up for him. I am sad, mourning ending the relationship and feeling bad for hurting someone I care about. Frustrated that it was so messy, that it didn't work out, etc. Just taking things a day at a time and trusting that I made the right choice, which is hard when there's no answer key for life to check against. Send your most encouraging and hope-restoring love after 30 stories. Well, OP, I have to say, the resolution was crappy of course because you were both hurt and, he got hurt by your original post. But in any case, I feel you both came on top on this one because you clearly did not belong together. I honestly don't think either of you are going to be thinking that you were the one that got away. Nah, I think you're both going to look back at this in the future being like, yep, that relationship was right to end. What do you all think about this? Let me know in the comments section. And so, we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers. Also, if you feel like chatting with others from this community, you can always join my Discord server and check out my subreddit. I'll leave the links in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video.